So, the Venmos, Halloween weekend. Looks like Kaylee and her friends are uh, getting a prank together, maybe for a fake fight of some kind. I know that Steve and Christy and those guys said that Kaylee was really big on pranks. She liked doing pranks, and early on, very early, it was said that Dylan was going to play a prank on Kaylee, and I can't remember where that came from, but it was really, what did they say about it? It was something about, that's why, okay, so that's where the ski masks and stuff came in. That's what it was. They were going to have, okay, so they were going to scare him when they got home, and they were going to be standing out. There's going to be a bunch of people outside with ski masks on. They were just going to jump out at him and just boo and say boo and like all that kind of stuff, and just scare him, right? That's what I had heard. So, I mean, that's just pure speculation. That's just hearsay, not proven at all. But then when you think about the ski masks, of course, with that night, it's not for certain, but it really does look like Quinn was there, and that Dylan and Quinn were both wearing ski masks. And we all know that Adam, he likes to wear his ski mask too, like when he's playing, I don't know if it's soccer or rugby or whatever. It shows him with the team, with the ski mask on, taking school pictures. I mean, it's in school pictures. I mean, that's kind of crazy, right? And the football players, they all wear ski masks underneath it's a liner type thing they put on underneath their helmets when it's really cold. So there's that. Sorry, I'm eating. I'm just, I've been just crazy all day. So you got to think, how many ski masks are up in that place? Probably a heck of a lot, especially since it's even Idaho. The hunters wear ski masks out there for camouflage. Xana Kernodle, the TikTok, she clicked Queen, when she wrote Queen on or whatever, which I don't think she did, but the girl, her name is Maddie also. Her video was of her wearing camouflage and getting all dressed up in camouflage. So, it really kind of makes me think that might have been what happened, but where did it get out of hand? I mean, was the fake fight over Dylan's costume? Remember, everybody was all up in arms about that and how Dylan was crying and there was how mean Maddie was. Well, I don't know about you guys, but did you ever see her, Maddie's face? Because it looked like she had she was going to be having a black eye. She looked like she got hit in the face, like somebody punched her. So maybe it got out of hand that night, and there was some animosity, some anger issues going on there. Because remember, Kaylee left to go stay with her mom and dad the next week and a half. So it sounds like pretty soon after the Halloween weekend. Actually, almost exactly. Well, you got about another few days. But she would have been gone. So it would have given that whole crew, that whole mob, plenty of time to orchestrate what they were going to do once they got Kaylee back there. Because I don't know, maybe they thought Kaylee's the one that orchestrated this whole thing with this fake fight, or maybe she was, I don't know. I don't know how aggressive they get with their pranks or not, but remember, it was, and another thing too, remember, it was what was it that was being said, that the frat guys are always playing pranks on each other, right? So there's all of that stuff. There's all this prank stuff going on. Well, what if it just got out of hand? What if, I'm just saying what if, because I'm just going to put it out there, because, I mean, it could be, right now we don't know, right? But what if, okay, let's say that they were upset. Let's say 4chan's right, okay? What if this were just an excuse to get this to be a prank, and then the other guys jumped in there and did their business? Took care of business because they'd always been mad as hell and all of the other stuff, or they were just in that little prank mode, and then the anger just started welling up, and they remembered, okay, well, he called me this, and he said my balls are shriveled or whatever, all that stuff, and maybe it brought out too much in one or the other, because that can happen. I've seen that happen myself. And it was just bizarre. This was the weirdest thing too. It was this is the weirdest story, but it was when at Christmas we used to do like the white elephant exchange type thing, right? Well, one year someone had brought this humongous Hershey bar. This thing was thick. It was huge. Like it would take all year to eat it. It was absolutely enormous. And of course, the kids that year happened to be playing with the adults, which we changed it the next year around because that wasn't, kosher. But of course, all the kids wanted that freaking Hershey bar. Oh my gosh, I've not seen anything like what happened. Like it was like the mob like it was crazy. It was like vicious, and all there. We had to like break them up. It was nuts, you guys. And then the adults were getting on it too because maybe their kid. Well, my kid said it did it, and my kid did it, and it's like, oh my god, I just wanted out of there because I don't have kids. I'm like, get me out of here. I don't want to even deal with this. So I ended up like bringing him up to my place and breaking him up. It was just so crazy. But that's what kids. Imagine if this has been festering for literally that long, and they all kind of went to school together, which is kind of interesting to me too. Is that what a crazy thought. To be in, that's how close they are with that area, like with that town, and then the surrounding towns and that university. Like it seems like everybody just kind of goes there, right? Well, plus they get a pretty hefty discount, but compared to the out-of-staters, but still, it's really interesting to me. So now you've got this fake fight that something went wrong, got a little out of hand, and on Halloween, okay? And so then Kaylee leaves because because maybe it's being talked about. Maybe the house doesn't feel the way it did before. And so she's like, well, I'm just going to go stay with my parents for a little bit, and then I'll be back, right? Well, when she gets back, because allegedly Dylan sought her out to be her +1, maybe to, and could this be it? Maybe to, like, oh, it was. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for that. Everybody got out of hand. It's nobody's fault. Come be my +1. Come on, it'll be fun. Could be something like that. Might not be something like that. We don't know. But something happened. Something definitely happened. So now you've got, depending on who the prank was on, who was affected by it, who got their feelings hurt and how much, that kind of thing, who didn't get apologized to when they thought they needed to be apologized to, so on and so forth. So then you add, now you add in the boyfriends, okay? The boyfriends to this. Oh, honey, she did this, she did that, and all upset. Well, we're going to pull a prank on him, so yeah, come on, you can help us. That would be so easy for something like that to get out of hand. So easy. And, at the same time, too, I believe wholeheartedly there was hazing going on as well. And that's probably a little part of what was part of the hazing, was making the kids, maybe those guys, the pledges, do something like that, do the scaring, or maybe, not push one over, or, something, just something like a little over, maybe aggressive. And then things just went berserk. I could totally see that. Now, I do believe that both Xana and Ethan were taken from down by the grub truck. I don't know where they were at down there, but I heard it, and I think they were taken and brought back, and I think that's where that all started. And then, I don't know what happened after that, but it sounds pretty gnarly. So, really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Really makes you wonder. So what if they, hurt someone really bad, and they're like, oh my God, now what do we do? They know we did it. They saw us, or so on and so forth. Did they have to finish them off? I don't know. I don't know how deep it runs there, but it runs pretty deep. It's obvious that it runs pretty deep over there. So And, you know, pretty scary. Really damn scary, if you ask me. That could even get that far, and that no one would stop it, and then everybody just went freaking nutso, which I could totally see with mob mentality, you guys. Mob mentality is deadly. It is deadly, and it happens fast. Doesn't take any time at all. People are like in a blind rage type. It's just, you don't want to be anywhere near something like that if it happens. You want to get the hell out of Dodge, and I mean it now. Don't even think about it. Just go. I'm not joking. I've been around there, and I know what happens. It's awful. Okay, now this one bothers me because allegedly, well, he said it in one of the interviews, both him and Jasmine, that when he called over there, they were eating pizza. That Xana and Ethan were eating pizza, watching a movie. Well, don't you think November 11th? This is what this says. That Domino's, right, got pizza, and they could have had leftovers. Granted, they could have had leftovers and been sitting there eating that, and that could be just exactly what it was. But what if it wasn't? What if he mistaked these dates? How could you mistake these dates? I mean, you can mistake them at first, but wouldn't you correct it? This part bugs me to no end. Really, really, really bothers me. And I don't know. I have issues with Jeff and Jasmine's interviews anyway. I don't believe a word they say. I can't. They just nothing seemed right with those interviews, or with that particular interview. It just felt weird, you guys, and I just don't even. I can't pinpoint what part of it. It just, everything about it just was wrong to me. Now, you got to go back to. Well, you don't have to go back to, but then we've got Jack K, which is Elizabeth K's brother, and Elizabeth K and Molly are the ones that had the Venmo that said 3:30, and that's it, 3:30 a.m., which would have been this date, this morning, 3:30, right? So, but this is Jack, this is her brother. Now, allegedly, he's the one that picked up Ethan, and this was money, $6, which is what started the GoFundMe for them. Everybody put in $6 because that's how much it cost the ride, to take the ride. Now, if you look at it, it says 11:40 p.m. Now, I believe they were downtown by the grub truck, and Ethan probably paid him in advance, maybe the $6, whatever it is. And when they got there, that's when shit went crazy, and he got thrown in the trunk or wherever they threw him. It sounded like he was in a trunk. But before that happened, I mean, you can barely hear it, but somebody got Xana before they got Ethan, and I think they were separated. I don't think they were in the same vehicle. Now, I heard them, with the Linda Lane, I could hear that they were brought back there, and there's all sorts of stuff that goes on with that, and I have another video for that one. But anyway, I believe that I'm pretty sure that Jack, actually, the 4-door, the blue sedan, whatever, I think the white car is Elizabeth's car, and I think the blue car is Jack's car. And I think the blue car is the one that picked up Ethan and Xana, and also went back and went and got Kaylee and Maddie. Because you can hear it in the grub truck. In fact, Kaylee didn't want to go. And Maddie was like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, they're fine. You could tell she was saying that, kind of just playing it off. And Kaylee she didn't want to go. And I could see it just in her whole body language. She did not want to get in that car. And so I don't know. It seems to me that this was just I don't know, you guys. If this was a prank gone wild, how in the world could this university and the people in that town let this go on as long as it did, and still is? How could they let this happen? How could they put the blame on another person while their kids are running around as the ones that did it? Pure speculation. But letting another man go down for it. I mean, God help those people that didn't know anything about this and are involved in this cover-up. Because it is ugly. Ugly.